What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. We got another open mic black box discussion here tonight. We're going to call it AD Eve, perhaps, for Texas Southern. I'm going to talk about my beloved St. Louis Cardinals and whatever else can enter the mindset, if you would. We're not going to be before you too long. This is part of our testing the water theory, if you would. I got another apparatus hooked up, trying to see exactly what the sound quality is going to be like. If this is the winner, or do I need to go back to the drawing board? But you guys know how we roll here at the open mic. We don't prolong. We don't try to super hype. We just try to keep it plain, simple, straight to the point, and we might as well jump right into it. I want to remind you guys that you can and should subscribe to the YouTube channel. All you have to do is click on the subscribe icon and hit that little bell icon, and every time we pop off on something like this, you can get it. But for our daily grind, you should look for the Mike Prince Show or the Open Mic Broadcast Network on Spotify, on Spreaker. You can follow me on X at the Mike Prince Show. We have our weekly Substack newsletter that we have a great wealth of out-of-the-box thinking and thoughts and concepts. You can subscribe to that by going to the X handle, the Mike Prince Show, and you'll see pinned on the profile the opportunity to sign up, and it's absolutely free. So don't worry about anything. Sit back. Let's go for a ride. I'm an early riser. I go to bed early, but I get up real early. And so these tween times, these are great times for me to dialogue and just kind of be free in my thoughts and free in the flow and everything that's going on. I will give you fair warning. If you are one of those who happen to chat during the live sessions, I'm not ignoring you on purpose. It's a little challenge for me to see some of those fine print sometimes, so I'm not ignoring you, but I do promise you I go back when the sessions are over with. I'll read and respond to each and every one that I can. So I just want to give you that little fair warning. Don't think that I'm being rude or prude. It's just an older man aging fine like wine in life. And speaking of aging fine like wine in real life, my St. Louis Redbird Cardinals, I am excited, and I'm on record for saying I did not really expect much for the Redbirds. This team is actually in a rebuild mode, but they're doing an outstanding job. They beat the Cincinnati Reds again today. Should have won yesterday, but they lost in 10, 6-5. You can't win them all. But they're popping at the right time. Bats are coming together. And it seems like the youngsters are getting their second wind. And they're still way behind the Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs for that upper echelon. But they are in the hunt for that third wild card spot. And that's what's intriguing. They're only about 3 games out, and there are 35 games remaining. They got to take care of the teams like the Reds. They're supposed to pound them mercifully or unmercifully, and just gain all the ground you can. This weekend series, you're going to have the Philadelphia Phillies in Philly. They've been standing toe-to-toe with Philly, even though Philly is one of the better teams. But this is a real good swing mode for them to see exactly how they're going to do. Other baseball notes and worthiness, as I mentioned, the Brewers and the Cubs, they're on another planet. The Los Angeles Dodgers, they're on another planet, but there appears to be trouble in La La Land. Owner just made a big sale, an unexpected sale of the Los Angeles Lakers for $12 billion. He made $2 billion on the profit because he bought him only about 14 months ago for $10 billion. But word on the street is that he's struggling for money. Been robbing Peter to pay Paul. Now, poor folk, we know what robbing Peter to pay Paul mean. You're stretching that money as far as you can just to stay afloat. But these guys are stretching the money as far as they can just to stay in the room, if you would. So we're going to be checking that out. And you have news coming out about the Yankees, the Steinbrenners. They're in some financial woes. They had just recently sold a portion of their program for a ridiculous amount of money. And so it makes you wonder, where all this money coming from? Where exactly is it coming from? Is it really money, or is it, I'm using air quotes, that fictitious air quote money, that estimated value, your net worth? Net worth won't buy you a bag of beans. Net worth can make you go borrow more money. Net worth can make you appear to be larger than what you are. Net worth is why people are faking it until they make it. But when you want some tangibles, I need to put my hand on some money. They're not in good shape right now. And it makes you wonder, is this going to be another dot-com burst? Because all the evaluations and all this money that is just going hand over fist, my underlying tone, to be quite honest with you, it's got to be some drug money somewhere involved with this stuff. It's got to be used for laundering. That's the only thing that really and truly makes sense, at least from my little vantage seat. Don't really get involved with all that. I'm a sports guy. I'm going to root for my teams. I'm going to do what I can for them. I'm not going to go crazy broke behind them, but I will peek at them just to make sure they're doing it. It's always a good time when your team is rolling along. Speaking of rolling along, this is the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince, with a little nighttime talk right here with the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and we're calling this the Black Box Approach. The Black Box Approach is basically, look, man, I know this is a video platform, but more importantly to me, it's a storytelling platform. And I am hoping that this audio is clear enough for you guys. I'm hoping that the content is good enough for you guys to want to stick around and see exactly what the end is going to be. For those of you who are not familiar with what we do at the Open Mic, we make it plain and simple. We cover local and regional sports. I rarely even talk about professional sports, but I'm excited about the St. Louis Cardinals, and I thought I wanted to, bring it in there since they're on a little uptick right now. But we mainly focus on the Southwestern Athletic Conference, number one. We do look at college sports as a whole because it does have a domino effect. It trickles down to, what happens at top eventually comes down to the bottom. And we got to pay attention to what's going on. So they're tied in the most subtle ways abroad. We take care of local high school coverage, local regional high school coverage. We got games scheduled this 2026 season for Booker T. Washington, the Royal Falcons, the Waller Bulldogs, the Hempstead Bobcats. We got the Corrigan Bulldogs, and we got some other teams that we're building for the high school program. So just stay tight, stay tuned, and we'll give you what you got. I think you'll really be pleased with what we're doing here at the Open Mic. And at the Open Mic, it's a labor of love for us. It's not about being seen. It's not even about being heard. It's about telling a story. There's so many stories that are gone untold, gone unnoticed, unrecognized, and we try to bridge that gap, whether it's an interview, whether it's a game production, whether it's me doing something like this or letting loose a newsletter and just keeping you abreast, because there's a lot of rinse, wash, and repeat. It's easy to cover NFL. It's easy to cover NBA. It's easy to cover MLB, but we go down in the trenches where those guys are busting their tails just as the professionals are. But this might be the only love that they get. And if we can put a smile on their face, make them feel good for a moment or two, then we've done our job. We've absolutely done our job. Each and every day, we try to give you some news you could use through the Mike Prince Show on Spreaker and Spotify. And so we just hope you guys decide to come aboard and be a part of it and help build this channel and the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And speaking of building, Texas Southern Tigers, I almost call them Texas Southern State. Maybe they need to be Texas Southern State. But the Texas Southern Tigers have been in survival mode. It's just basically, we'll put it, they've been in survival mode. And it's not a bad thing to be in survival mode, because if the truth be told, and that's one thing about the times that we're living in, that social media hype, man, everybody want to sound like and look like they're doing so much better than what they actually are, and it's all a scam. But unfortunately, Texas Southern is in the middle of a bunch of chaos. I think that's the appropriate word to use, chaos. Of course, if you had not heard, we'll get you up to speed. They're on the market for a couple of things at Texas Southern. The top position, athletic director, then the head basketball coach, then the head baseball coach. And they're in need of facilities. They need a football facility, need a baseball and softball facility. For many years, I've admired the work that Texas Southern has been able to achieve and accomplish working under stressful conditions. And let me explain this. Yes, they're quote unquote the rival, but game recognizes game. You got to acknowledge when folks are just doing good things. And they've been doing good things, in particular, under the leadership of Kevin Granger, who, in my humble opinion, was mishandled with some stuff. We won't go and get bogged down into all of that, but he's able to rebound, and he's going to be a part of that potential what if scenario. If you hadn't checked out my early podcast, we did a little what if splash on that this morning. We'll talk a little bit about that. And one thing I will acknowledge, that we will not double dip you. We're not going to just regurgitate what we talk about on the podcast. It's going to be totally different than what we talk about here at the Black Box. So you want to stay in tune and stay in touch, if you would, with the things that are going on here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And when you understand what exactly is going on and how it's going on, you'll know that, hey man, maybe these guys are onto something. It might sound crazy at first, it might sound way off, but just take the time and listen. Don't listen with your heart, listen with your mind. Don't get emotional on me. Don't throw a bag on me. Don't take it personal. I'm just trying to speak with some logic, speak with some reason, and more importantly, try to support it with some facts. And here's a fact. The hot name right now for Texas Southern is Ashley Robinson. But then there's what I'm going to call the dark horse, Mr. Tony Wiley. Oh, if you hadn't heard, man, they're on the news. They're protesting. They're kicking up dust, throwing rocks, spitting out fire. I got a question for you, Tiger Nation, at TSU. Yeah, you. Where was all this passion? All this we care when they were railroading your former athletic director? Couldn't hear a peep out of someone. Then all of a sudden, we got this passion, we got these concerns in the 9th, 10th, 11th hour. Come on, man. And I'm going to tell you, just like I tell PV Nation, show up to the games first. Support the games. Become active with your finance support, kicking up dust and kicking up rocks, and don't have any strong track record of being a supporter. Being a fan is one thing, being a hater is another thing, but being a supporter is on a whole nother level. Now, you don't have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, but give something. Give something. I really, in my heart, believe, and I only speak for myself, being a little project kid from St. Louis, I know the impact that Prairie View A&M University has had on my life, the opportunities and the doors that were open for me. So there are things that I've done, things that I do a lot behind the scene because I don't do stuff to be seen nor heard, but that you owe it to that institution that has given you an opportunity to change your lifestyle forever. And these guys only want to show up at homecoming. And I'm not going to get mad. I promise I wasn't going to get myself mad and upset and start spitting fire. But it really chafes me that we get like this at the last moment. When Kevin Granger needed to support, they took the man number out of the Raptors. They retired the man's number, then took it out of the Raptors behind some nonsense. And no one has said anything. At least, let me say that, not no one. I have not heard of no one. They hadn't called the news and said, hey, report this news. No, but when you get a chance, because maybe you can get a hookup, that's the problem. Stop looking for the hookup and start lifting up. Support. Well, I don't make enough money. Wait a minute, make a little sacrifice. I'm going to go on record and say this. If every person that was connected to their institution, whether you graduated or not, if every person that came through our HBCU hallways, doors, and on the campuses could commit to $120 a year, that is $10 a month. Give it like you pay a subscription fee. You'd be amazed of the impact that you could have. You'd be absolutely amazed at how far that money can go. And that's scraping the barrel. And some of you spend more on coffee than what I just suggested at $10 a month. But anyway, I'm getting off focus here. I'm fussing too hard. You got all these people protesting. Some, and it's going to be like that no matter who the candidates are. You're going to have some for, some against. Some are turning cartwheels if Ashley Robinson is the chosen one. Some are building up their picket signs and protest marches as we speak. But sooner or later, come early in the morning, early, about 9 a.m. on a Wednesday. We're doing this on a Tuesday evening. You're going to get your answer one way or the other. Now, I know where you are, TSU. I've been on that side of the track. There was a particular, individual that I thought would be doing a good job. But here's the bottom line. If your person is not chosen, still support your school? Will you still go out there and make it count for your school? Are you going to still show up to the games like you're showing up on campus, making this noise and making these gestures of being seen and heard because we care, we're passionate, and we love our school? Do you love your school enough to continue to show up? There's going to be a true litmus test for you, Tiger Nation. This football season, you're going to have to go about 25 miles out of your way to Thorne Stadium in Aldine School District just for your home games. Or you're going to pack up and go support those 100 plus men that are out there busting their tails to represent you in these 3-digit heat index days. Are you going to be there to support them even if it's a rough year? Or are you just going to stand on the sideline and say, that's why I don't come to the game because y'all don't do nothing? It's time out for all that. We're in a dangerous time right now. And I'm not fussing at Texas Southern. I'm really talking to every HBCU ear that has an ear to hear. How about that? And for those of you who might not know, I get on my own Panthers the same way. So it's nothing brand new. I've been doing it a long time. I'm not going anywhere. It is what it is. It's just time that we tell the truth. We can tell the truth in love. We can tell the truth with authority and still be respectful about it. But the facts are the facts. We can't be fair weather. We can't be sometime. We must be consistent. Now, whether it's Wiley, whether it's Robertson, or whoever it is, they're going to have to come in and do some work. Do you hear me? Because there's some pressing concerns. Did you hear what I said earlier? You have no facilities that you can call your own. And for a D1 program, I don't think you guys really understand just the struggle on that alone of recruiting, retaining, and a mindset. We always talk about the mental mindset. What about the mental mindset of these coaches? What about all these other things that these guys have to deal with that the average fan is not even thinking about? They're not even concerned about because it's not on their radar, because you're not connected, because you only show up at homecoming, because you only show up at Labor Day Classic. You only show up when you can be seen. We're going to be fans. Let's be fans. This is the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. We're just doing a little ranting on the open mic black box. A little concept we came up with. I happen to like it. I don't know if you guys are liking it. We'll know in the comments here real soon. We asking you and encouraging you to support by subscribing, being a part of the YouTube family, be a part of our Spur family. You can sign up for us through Spotify. You can follow me on X at the Mike Prince Show. Whichever way you go, it would really be greatly appreciated. We also ask if you would subscribe to the newsletter, to the Open Mic Broadcast Network newsletter on Substack. You can go to the profile post on X and click that magical button and subscribe today. Now, as we continue to move forward and evolve, and we're in this 21st century now, and things are so much different, moving so fast these days. And before you know it, what's hot today will be cold tomorrow. And we try to keep up with what matters, and that's the facts, the news, and everything. I have people ask me all the time, Mike, had you ever thought about videoing and streaming this and streaming that? And one of the big topics I go back and forth with my son, who is in position of taking it to the next generation. I've served my time. I've given a lot of my years, 30 plus years. I'm not done, but I can sense the end and the light getting brighter at the end of the tunnel. And there's just certain things, you want to sit back and watch the labors and the fruits of your labor, I should say. And so if that's the next path they want to go, then they can go. But I can tell you this, no matter how fancy your camera is, no matter how super your graphics are, you must learn the art of communicating by way of writing. Not all AI driven, by way of speaking. There's one thing where I guess you can clone your voice and start sounding just like you. But you have to be able to articulate and tell the story. That's the one thing AI cannot do. AI cannot give you a human touch. And I don't care if it's a podcast, I don't care if it's an article, I don't care, whatever it is, it cannot beat you it being you. So use it, but they say buyer beware at your own discretion, but don't let it use you. And it's just like, man, the computer is evil. No, the computer is not evil at all. It's what evil people put those computers to work to. It's the same that goes with AI. You got some people that are dead set, I am not going to get on AI and blah, 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 and blah, 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 because of all the eco damage that they're causing. Well, if you're on the internet, you're part of the eco damage too. If you are in the clouds saving and storing stuff, you all on the cloud too. Because they got cloud space that you can pay a one-time purchase, and you can be set. And guess what they're called? They're called external hard drives. They're called flash drives. Oh no, that's too quirky. That's too old school. You'd rather pay somebody a subscription fee that you'll never own the content. They can shut down tomorrow and your stuff is, remember, y'all probably don't remember, you're not old enough to remember, lost in space. Absolutely lost in space. And I'm not fighting technology. I'm pivoting with technology. And I said all that to say this. If you're looking at the description right now, it says audio only. We're going to tell the story. We are going to share the story. And we're going to stay focused on the story. It's not about what I'm wearing and how I look. It's not even about how I sound. It's, are you able to hear me clearly and comprehend what I try to say each and every day right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network? I forgot to tell you guys, we have a 24-hour message text line. And it's 936 463 2405. You can leave a voice message or you can send a text message if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything that we discuss, whether it's on any of our shows that we produce here. We have the Locker Room with Coach Van Pettaway. We have After Further Review with Coach Heist Northern. We have Above the Net with Tamika Newman. We have the Rodeo Roundup with Cersei Jordan. We have the Temple of Refuge Ministries, Tuesday and Thursday Bible studies. We have Sunday morning sermons. So we got you covered from head to toe. And every now and then, you get a chance to hear me open up my It Really Happened Chronicles. If you hadn't heard that yet, I did a test run earlier today on the YouTube. You need to check it out. It's only about a 10-minute show, but the whole It Really Happened went on the 10 minutes. We were just testing out different sounds and different things going on, like we're doing tonight, and we're getting it right. But to get back to the news at hand, it is the dawn of announcement for Texas Southern. Will they give a 2-for-1? Will they name the basketball coach and the athletic director? Will they just name the athletic director, or will they just name the basketball coach? And you're really playing with a loaded gun, in my humble opinion, yet again, with this basketball coach situation. Man, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. You wait till the late hour, the midnight hour. You have an interim coach who's been preparing himself, because this is like a grand audition for this guy. I get a chance to show that I'm worthy of this job. Then you got another guy who you said, hey, we're going to give you the job. Anybody remember a guy by the name of Fred McNair? I'm a big fan of Fred McNair. And Fred McNair got the dirty, short end of the stick. And it looked like, as Yogi Berra would say, we're about to have this deja vu all over again. But who am I? I'm on the outside looking in. I'm going to find out when the rest of you guys find out. And I can tell you this, we will let you know by way of our X handle at the Mike Prince Show. And as a matter of fact, I'll even have the microphone on standby that we could do a special episode, whether it be podcast or we go live like we're doing right now. I don't even know. But one way or another, we're going to let it roll, let it flow, and see exactly what the end is going to be. And speaking of seeing exactly what the end is going to be, I may have said enough for tonight. I hope I have. Maybe somebody can leave some comments and say, hey man, I agree with you. I don't know what and how it's going to work out, but it is what it is. I can see now that I've gotten some responses and some okay, I'm trying to look at it right now. Wow, it's 9 of them. I am I am really going to have to apologize about that. I don't want to butcher anybody things up. Hopefully these deals will be intact when I go back and look at it and I can respond that way. But if you really got something you want to share, please send a text to 936-463-2405. 936 2 I'm sorry, 463-2405. If you could do that, that would be great appreciated. But as for right now, it's time for me to exit stage left because it's past my bedtime. And I'm not a happy guy when it comes to my bedtime. But we thank you guys so much for joining in. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Again, follow me on X at the Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And until the next time, you guys be blessed. And we'll see you on the other side.